He's such a poser. Alright everybody, welcome back to another wonderful edition of Poser Play Dream Daddy. Alright, so we're playing Dream Daddy. If you remember last time, we had a little friendly competition with Bryan, and he fucking stomped us because the fucking mini golf course was a joke. But now we're going fishing, I believe, with him, so we're gonna go ahead and start this. Let's message him right now. Come on, Bryan! What you got for me? We're gonna fuck you, Bryan! Hey, Daisy and I are going fishing tomorrow. Are you in or out? Oh, I have a message from Bryan. Oh no, I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Bryan, and now he's challenging me to another dad-off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere close to being an expert. Still, though, I have to accept. I type back to Bryan. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all those fish. Make sure your mower is in good working order because you're going to be all over my lawn this weekend. That'll show him. Bryan responds back, letting me know that tomorrow he'll pick us up at an hour I had previously forgotten existed. Man, that's going to be a rough start. Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off piece by piece like some kind of monster. I didn't raise you like that. What? It's called string cheese, not chompy cheese, for a reason, Amanda.
Aww.
Did you just call me here to criticize my controversial string cheese eating technique or what? No, Amanda, we have to go fishing tomorrow. Well, you have to go fishing. I get to play with Bryan's dog. How do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in the Girl Scouts, didn't you? Nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional. Transactional? Thought I could get free cookies, but I didn't know that I had to, be outside and tie knots and stuff. But I have to beat Bryan. Dad, let me tell you a story. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at the coffee shop across town? Give me a refresher. During the interview, they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine, and I really wanted the job, so I lied and said yes. On the first morning, there was a line out the door, and within half an hour, I severely burned my hand, and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Of course I remember. What does that have to do with the fishing? The burn is a metaphor, Dad. I don't get it. You can lead a horse to water. What do horses have to do with fish and burns? Dad, please. I don't get your obsession with competing against Bryan. You wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Please try to explain it to me. Okay, Bryan he just thinks that he's so much better than me, and he's purposely reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me. I have to beat him at his own game. Is that what you think is happening here? No, Amanda. Okay. I know that's what's happening. All right, Pops. We should both be getting some sleep. See you in the morning. All right, Panda. Or Night Panda. Amanda Panda. I guess we're not like a good example when it comes to this kind of stuff, I feel like, but whatever. I brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed and set my alarm and close my eyes. I feel like this room doesn't get pictured very often either. Okay, sleep. I am wide awake. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Bryan. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on, but before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy and the air thick with bugs. I picked at mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. True. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of the body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I'm holding a fishing pole. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait and wait and wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. Used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all the lures in my tackle box are the exact same. I look up at my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Bryan's eyes. What? You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. So we're gonna use a neutral buoyancy lure. I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip up on the clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door half open and see her still curled in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? No. Well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never. Amanda, I'll get up in a minute. All right, Bryan should be here in 20, so you better not just go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blankets to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do the word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Bryan. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Bryan. He's decked out in fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him. Early bird gets the worm, buddy. You ready to fish? I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Bryan. It's a good day to die. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. I walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Woof, woof. Bryan's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging its tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir? Maxwell, let Poser sit down. Or sit. Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy immediately falls asleep. You ready for an adventure? I'm ready for glory. I am ready for glory. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. So where exactly are we headed? It's about an hour north of here. A little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need so that we can catch some trout. Have a nice little fire and enjoy the nature. My fishing pole is in the shop, getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow? But of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is, though. Right. I am digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusky pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice quiet drive, Bryan eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up into a magnificent lake. Well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Bryan unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore, where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Bryan and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting. Oh great, it's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Bryan place a tiny dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Woof woof. Alright, your turn. Bryan hands me a lime green life vest. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. I can swim, thanks. No, thanks. If I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. Suit yourself. Bryan turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. You kids want to fish? Aww. I'm good with just throwing rocks into the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water. Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them. Hey. Is that what we're doing? Daisy, don't you want to fish? I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're gonna go explore the woods and look for bugs and stuff. Alright, be safe, don't go too far. Bryan puts his life vest around himself and we throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Bryan shoves off. We paddle together to get ourselves in the middle of the lake. Most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early. Yeah, I know, that's pretty common fisherman knowledge, after all. Fisherman knowledge that I am knowledgeable about. Still a gambling man? You know it. Let's see who can catch more fish. You can catch more than one. Sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm gonna catch, obviously. Hey. I was thinking something a little bit more high stakes than mowing the lawn. Custody of our children? More than that. Let's say, if I win, I get your weed whacker. Ooh, the Whack Master 2000? That's a limited edition. But If you win, you get my pole saw, the Reach and Cut 3000. The cordless version? That's the one. Shit. The Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. My weed whacker is a prized possession, but there are those hard to reach branches at the back of my yard that have been begging for a pruning. You're on. We shake it on it. I suddenly remember that I don't know how to fish. My foolish fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. I watch as Bryan ties a lure and does some stuff I can't quite follow with his fishing pole. He casts it into the lake. Oh boy, now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box and at the pole in my hand. Put some bait on the hook and salt the fish. Stretch before physical activity. I love that that's in there. Let's put some bait on the hook. I fish a worm from the styrofoam container Bryan brought. It's slippery, but I think I can get it onto the hook if I just focus. Oh God, I'm bleeding. Oh God, the blood's everywhere. The worm is not on the hook.
No.
I need some help. No, I meant to do that. The blood attracts the fish. They can smell it up to a mile away, you know.
Okay.
I think that's sharks. No, it's definitely fish. Now what? Perform fish mating call. Tie a knot to something? Tie a knot or something? Tie a knot or something. Like tie the worm into a knot? I take my pole and I tie an elaborate looking knot to impress Bryan, the classic hunter's bend. I learned that one in my youth. Yep, this one isn't coming apart anytime soon. With this knot I will cast my heavenly line upon the unsuspecting water and deliver unto us a bountiful harvest. I look over to Bryan. He doesn't seem to be paying attention. Let's cast this sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can. And the lure flies off the line and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with the loud sploosh. Sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. The cold air drives the pressure down.
Hey.
Ha! Go ahead and take my pole. I know it's hard switching to a new pole you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure. Bryan hands me his pole with a smile, and I just sit there, feeling like an idiot. Alright, we're in a minigame. Fishing around here is easy. They group up, and all you gotta do is line up 3 in the same species and reel them in. Okay. I need to match 3 of the same species. I can't tell which fish is which.
Fish.
What? That's the smallmouth bass. Judge it from the size of its mouth, but its consistent character. I hear if they tried hard enough. Okay. Oh, I see. Like, wait, can I move it like that?
Match of the day.
Nice job, me. Okay. Why is it not?
Nice
Oh, okay,
catch.
I see. Nope. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. No, I fucked it up. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it. I know.
Now you're fishing.
I'm trying to get like the biggest score I can.
Catch of the day.
Oh, jeez. This is hard. This is hard. Okay. God, there's like nothing to match.
Nice man.
There we go. I'm getting it. Don't group together well. I don't know what to do. How come I can't cancel after I do it?
Catch of the day.
There we go. Okay. Still nothing there.
Match of the
There
day.
we go. We're doing kind of okay. Oh, we got 9 seconds. Do we? Score of 250 is not very good. Ah, I don't see any more. Probably not good. Oh, hey. That's the walleye. Okay, good work. Wow, this is way tougher than I thought. I look over at Bryan, who's smiling, obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. I will crush him. Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps in my hand. I reflexively tugs towards it. I think I got something big. The tip of the pole dipped down repeatedly, and the line starts to run. Reel it in. I finally get the fish right up to the next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Bryan hands me a net. It's all yours. I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones that Bryan caught. The pole saw is mine. The pole saw is mine. All my. The entire canoe tips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. I should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden, I'm braced under the water and pulled into Bryan's arms. I finally dragged upwards, sputtering water. All of our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell doggy paddles around in circles, having a great time. You all right? Does that count as one? Well, seeing as all our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake, I guess so. Bryan laughs. Let's get you to shore. Bryan and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our new soaking wet gear. We row back to shore with Maxwell until, once we get there on the beach, Maxwell darts off into the woods. Bryan takes off his shirt. Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. Man, all that general contracting must have built that guy like an ox. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. I'm gonna get a fire going so we can dry off. Wanna hand me yours? Yes, okay. I reluctantly take off my shirt and toss it to Bryan. I suddenly wish I had done more sit-ups in my life, or any sit-ups at all. Really, another thing you've bested me in, stupid sexy Bryan. You might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have. The day's young, we can fish from the shore. Once Bryan gets the fire going, I sit and try to dry off my pants. Bryan sets a couple lures out by the water's edge. We're probably going to have to put a kibosh on the competition for now, until another day. My stomach growls. You hungry? Oh, I'm fine. Bryan reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars. I have a small child. I am flushed with snacks. Bryan joins me by the fire and I accept the cargo short granola. That's gross. And now we're back to waiting. Where did the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now? I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids. That's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They've probably established a small rural government by this point and have installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around the sun cresting the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Wow, nature is beautiful. A mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks. Here you go, buddy. Bryan hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Ugh, I've always hated how this stuff smells. Really? I've always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside. Maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. Throw the stick towards the woods, fake out a throw, break the stick in half and assert your dominance. Oh my god. Oh, I'll throw the stick, but that's fucking hilarious. I hurl the stick as hard as I can towards the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him, which consequently is not very fast. It is very cute though. Nice throw, Poser 67. I turn so he can't see me blush. Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good, speedy boy. You're the world champ of fetch. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? But pats never fail. Scratch behind his ears, rub the belly. I give Maxwell some nice little scratches behind his floppy ears. He responds in kind by licking my face. He really likes you. Be careful. He's going to try to follow you home if you keep that up. I scratch Maxwell's ears more intensely. I'm going to steal your dog, Bryan. We both laugh, but I'm only kind of kidding. While I'm playing with Maxwell, fish begin routinely pulling on Bryan's lines and watch Bryan effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up in cast iron pan. Before we know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. Man and Daisy emerge from the woods looking totally unscathed. Whoa, Dad Bod Patrol. I'm gonna have to issue you both a citation to demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Bryan tosses me my now dry shirt. I pull it over my head and thankful that I will no longer be distracted by Bryan and his pecs. Where have you guys been? Studying entomology, which I think is insects. We were playing with bugs. I expected you guys to be more covered in like mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. What do you take me for, a child? Amanda puts her hand on Daisy's shoulders. Right. We take a seat around the fire and Bryan serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be good at everything? Fish taste okay. Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It's incredible. I've never had fish this good. Yeah, it's great. Old Harding family recipe. Why are your pants wet? Well, Amanda, we were out on the lake, and then I accidentally tipped over the boat. Don't worry, all of the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything. Right, Poser 67? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can't believe he just covered for me. Gosh, he even not humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. He is. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we packed up the station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. The poor pup falls asleep in a puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day. Been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home. I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but yeah, I'm beat. Fine. As we drive away, I take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep. Hey, sleepyhead. I opened my eyes and realized that I had dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wipe a bit of drool off my chin. Oh hey, I was resting my eyes. Just in case we suddenly have to jump into any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it and ready to fight with my strong arms. It's all good. You've earned some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. I had a lot of fun with you. Thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually. Glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah? You too. Take it the easiest. Bryan chuckles to himself and unloads the car. Amanda and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Long day. Yep. I was so close to that pole saw. Pole saw? Yeah, Bryan and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish and... Stop. Why do you care so much? Manda Panda, just look at the guy. He's obviously got my number and he's rubbing my face in it. Dad, I love you, but you're kind of dumb sometimes. Dumb or clearly the superior dad? You know what? I don't have any of the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation with asserting your masculinity. I'm going to bed. Night. Amanda slides off the couch and the face down onto the floor. I'm a tired slug. Amanda, that floor is disgusting. I don't care. Well, night, honey. Night, Pops. That's so funny. I'm a tired slug. That's good. All right, let's look at our date. See what we get. Oh, we didn't do that good. Figured we did really good. Oh, we did! An S-Class! We got 2 S-Class dates with them, I'm pretty sure. Did we have an S-Class last time? I think we did. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for watching another Poser play of Dream Daddy. I really appreciate everyone watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. And I will catch you on the flip side. Bye! He's such a poser.